Hi everybody, it's Christina. Welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a card using the For the Bird stamp set, and I'll be using the stamp set for a couple different projects this week. I'm also going to be giving it away, so head over to my blog on today's blog post and enter to win. Just side note that you do have to be a resident of the United States because I'm shipping this right from Stampin' Up. So let's go ahead and get started. I stamped my image onto some Watercolor Wonder note card paper and just trimmed it down and then flipped it over. I did mask off the sentiment so that the only thing I had was the picture of the wagon and the flowers in it and no sentiment. I'm going to be using my blender pen to color in my image. So I'm just going to take my ink pad, and this is going to be crumb cake that I'm going to be using, and squeezing the ink pad so that the color transfers over to the top lid, and I use that as my palette for my ink. I'm going to pick that up using the blender pen and then start coloring in my little wagon. So I'm trying to have it so that the wagon is darker on the outsides and then goes lighter to the inside. So I'm just coloring that in very lightly. Now my watercolor, or my blender pen rather, is starting to dry up. So it's not it does the job, but pretty much after this image I was done. I didn't have any more fluid left in it, but it worked for what I was trying to do. So what I'm doing is just inking up or picking up the color onto my blender pen and then coloring in my image. And if I wanted it to be a little lighter with my dried up pen, I just had to swirl out the ink a little bit more. And for the darker stuff, I just went right to the darker part of the ink that I have onto my ink pad. So once I have the wagon colored in, I'm going to go ahead and do the wheels. And to clean off your blender pen, you just wipe it off onto a piece of scrap paper, and that removes the color from your pen. For the wheels, I'm going to be using the basic gray color, and I'm just coloring this in, and this started off pretty light, but you can add it to be a little bit darker just by going over it a second time. So I'm going to go ahead and color in these wheels, and there is little hearts in the center of the wheels. I think it's hard to see in the video, but I left those blank, and then I'll color them in later. I'm going to use some So Saffron now, and I'm going to use that to color in my little bird. And again, I'm just picking up the ink. I didn't want this to be too dark, and I'm just kind of lightly colored off or picked up some of the lighter part of that pad and just colored in my bird. I'm also going to use the So Saffron to color in the center of one of the little flowers, which you'll see better in the photo at the end. Wisteria Wonder is the other color I'm going to use. I'm going to use that for the other flowers that are on here, and I apologize, my hand got in the way. I have to remember to kind of tilt my hand a little bit more so you can see what I'm coloring in. I'm going to use Melon Mambo for my butterfly and one of my other flowers, as well as the little hearts that are on the wagon wheels. And then the last thing I want to do is just color a little grassy area underneath my wagon. So I'm using Pear Pizzazz, and I am just again picking that up with my blender pen and then creating my little ground area underneath the wagon, as well as coloring in the leaves to my flowers. So after I have the grass area colored in, I'm taking a note card also from the Watercolor Wonder note set, and I am going to use that as my card base. Before I do anything else, I need to go ahead and stamp my image. I'm going to use my jet black Stays On ink and stamp out my sentiment, which says, "It's your birthday." And I just love it because it's a little like swirly, "It's your birthday," which is really cute. So once I have that stamped out, I'm going to add some linen thread. I did go ahead and take a nice long piece and doubled it up so that I have a bow that's going to be 2 loops. So I'm just going to go ahead and tie my bow And then once I have that tied, I will slide it down towards the bottom. And then I'll add some dimensionals to the back. I'm taking some of the dimensionals and putting them right over the linen thread, and that helps it hold it in place when I put it onto my card front. So I cut this so it's the same length as my card front, and I'm just going to go ahead and center that right over that little circle oval area, so that hides up that area. So I just have the yellow sticking out from the top and the bottom. And then the last thing I'm going to do is add some rhinestones to the front of my card. As always, a list of supplies are down below and over on my blog if you want to check it out. And don't forget to head over to today's blog post for to enter your name for a chance to win this stamp set. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Here are 3 more videos that you can enjoy that are available on my YouTube library. And if you're not already a subscriber, go ahead and hit the subscribe for more videos button. And don't forget to give today's video a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.